Hi guys, my name is Mike and this is my first jet gameplay video, so I'll be sharing with you some tips and tricks about how to use the jet more effectively, how to take out tanks, how to dodge enemy missiles, and yes, if you didn't know that, you can't dodge enemy missiles without using flares as well. But first of all, I'm going to start with talking about some strategy about this map and this game mode. Most people will tell you that the minute you take off in a jet, you gotta take the enemy jet out, and this couldn't be furthest from the truth when it comes to playing rush, and especially if you're playing on the defending side. If you're defending, your last priority should be the enemy jet, because by the time you take it out, their tanks, their choppers and their jeeps are going to be in your spawn, and they're going to have the MCOMs planted. Your job as a defender is to try and make the other team give up on the tanks and choppers. Make them come to your deployment on foot, because if you do that, I mean, at the end of this game I went 26-1 and I took out 8, I think, tanks, 6 choppers, 2 jets and 2 jeeps. So by the end of the game, half of the team had rage quit, and most of them were coming on foot. They weren't even jumping in the tanks anymore. So that's your job as a defender. You know, force them to leave their vehicles behind and try to make it on foot. And on a map like Caspian Border or even Karg Island and Operation Firestorm, you know, it takes ages to get to the MCOM stations if you're going without a vehicle. So that's my job as a defender. And you might be asking, you know, what about the other jet, you know, the enemy jet that's taking out your friendly tanks? You know, that's not a big concern for me, because A, I'm in the jet, and B, even if he does do that successfully, you know, you still can defend your home base even if you don't use tanks. I mean, you can use RPGs, you can use javelins, and the fact that I'm taking out their tanks means that, you know, even if we as defenders have no tanks, it's even Steven, as they say. So this is I'm about to get to my first death right here. I don't know how that happened. Jet started going all crazy on me and I crashed. But anyway, I'm gonna talk about my loadout before I go any further with the tips and tricks I talk about in the beginning. In the first slot, I'm using air radar, and the reason I'm doing that is not as much to see where the tanks and the choppers are in the game, but I want to know where the enemy jet is. I mean, I'm avoiding that jet. I'm not even bothering with that, but looking at my radar, I have a very good idea of where it is, and if it's pointing at me, I'll start doing evasive maneuvers. Here I got hit by the flare, by the way. So that's why I use the radar. It's not as much to find the tanks. You know, you're high in the air, you're gonna see the tanks anyway, but you want to know where the enemy jet is at any given time, and you want to avoid it. So I think, yeah, I'll be showing you some clip. Right, this is one bit here. You know, the enemy jet starts coming behind me, so I just do a loop and go the other way. I don't want any jets being behind me. So coming to the second ability, I'm not using flares. The reason I'm not using flares and I'm using ECM jammer instead is because I can avoid enemy missiles. So, you know, ECM jammer will give me a 5-second immunity to lock on, and after that, you know, even if a missile does go towards my way, you know, I can avoid it. All right, here's a point where, you know, if a jet just lands in my lap like this, I'm not gonna let it pass, and I'm gonna take it out. But other than that, I spend no time chasing enemy jets. And moving to the third perk or third ability, I'm using rocket pods, and the reason I'm using rocket pods is because I'm not chasing enemy jets, so I don't need heat seekers, and the guided rocket that's supposed to take out tanks is just a horrible weapon. I mean, it takes ages to lock on, it's weird to use. I mean, you need beam scanning so you can get that lock on a lot faster, so you have to lose your air radar to do that. I mean, rocket pods are just a great weapon. You just shoot your 14 rockets towards the target, you know, get some splash damage, and then just finish them off with you know, your minigun, your strafe gun. So you can also, you know, shoot down buildings, you know, on maps like Carg Island, where there's a lot of people hiding in buildings. You just take them out and get kills off that as well. So that's my loadout. And going back to the tactics and the tricks I talked about in the beginning, the way you dodge missiles basically is you either turn hard left, hard right, or you do a loop. I mean, I think this is a situation, yeah, that's it. I just make a hard right turn, and the enemy missile just misses me completely. And so if I got ECM jammer, which means that I'm immune for 5 seconds, you know, having that ability in my arsenal, you know, just dodging missiles just makes me a lot more harder to take down. And I suggest you start practicing that, and it takes some timing. I mean, if the rocket is far away from you, if the guy launching the rocket is far away from you and is not facing you, in other words, you're running away from him, you better wait just a bit before you start looping around like I did here. I got hit because I started looping around the minute I heard that rocket launch. I had to wait just a bit longer to let it get closer and then evade it, avoid it at the last second. If however you're facing the guy who's shooting you, I mean, you want to start turning left or right straight away, because the rocket is flying straight towards you. You don't have a lot of time to react, so you need to turn left or right straight ahead. And as for taking out enemy tanks, what you want to do is run in a straight line from their deployment to your deployment, like I'm doing here, because that way you can shoot tanks in the back where they're most vulnerable. So what I usually do is I'm running a straight route from their deployment to my deployment and back. So one way I'll be shooting tanks in front and doing less damage, and when I'm returning, I'm going to be shooting them in the back. And usually I unload all 14 rockets. Doesn't matter if they hit or not. Sometimes you get the kill with your rocket pods because the enemy tank is damaged as well, but that minigun is going to do the most of the job. It's going to do most of the killing. So run a straight line, just unload anything on your target, try to hit them in the back, and finish them off with your minigun. As for choppers, it's not something, you know, you can teach or say how it's done. It just takes a lot of practice. I took out 6 choppers in this game. Some drivers are better than others. You know, they'll start dodging you or diving quickly and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's a sitting duck. Especially the transport chopper. It's so easy to take out, and you don't need your rocket pods. Just your minigun will do the job. So to sum things up, guys, this being my first video, if you're defending on any map on Rush, your first priority, your last priority should be the enemy jet. You should be taking out tanks, helis, and jeeps before anything else. That should be your main job. If you're being chased by an enemy jet, just use your radar to avoid it. And if you have to, you know, engage with it and take it out if you can. But for the most part, if you got a jet on your back and you start looping around once, twice, 3 times, you know, he'll get tired and he'll stop chasing you eventually. You know, he'll just say, screw this, I'm gonna get some kills, some tanks. So use this to your advantage. I mean, if you're patient enough, you can do some serious damage and basically make the other team come on foot. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. That's the end of the game. I just jumped out of the jet there. I didn't want to die. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye bye.